Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I am Nerdarchist Ted, and today we're going to play some 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Before we jump into it, if you want to look down in the description below, you can find a link to where all of these wondrous people can be found when they're not here gaming with yours truly. Without further ado, I'm going to toss it to our hidden GM hidden behind the black veil. Robin, take it away.
Hello. So this is the old guard where all of the PCs are older adventurers coming back for one last hurrah. A note before we start, there is a character battling alcoholism in this campaign and one battling depression. So if either of those things are not your shtick, it is absolutely fine to take a pass on this one. Um, Also, I'm not on camera tonight due to ongoing technical issues, but you're not here for my face. You're here for Raziel being summoned into the meeting chamber of St. Adelaide. Raziel, it's the middle of the night. The storm outside is so intense you can hear it from down in the catacombs. Um, it's not full light down here. There is only one torch lit, so there's just this little warm ball of glow as you enter the circular cistern chamber where she holds her council. Her back is to you. You can see from the shadow on the wall behind her that her fingers are pressed together, and just the set of her shoulders gives you the impression that it is with much tension.
Entering the chamber, I would walk to a respectful distance behind her, and it's not a full drop. It's not a full genuflect. I don't fully drop to my knee, mostly because old injuries prevent that. But it's sort of a half bow, one arm held forward, head bowed, and eyes cast to the floor, and I just say, "My dark saint."
She turns and, splaying her hands, she says, I have require of you. There's a task, one that I would only trust to you. But it requires something that many would consider distasteful.
You have but to ask.
I need a body. One retrieved from a tomb. There are certain enchantments woven into the fabric of the city, and they were written long ago by families that no longer have a grip over the sway of the day-to-day rulemaking, but their blood is still coursing through the enchantment. I've been doing my best to pick through everyone one at a time, and I've unlocked several of them, but one of them doesn't seem to have any living scions. And I think that might be by design. Unfortunately, they seem to have forgotten I'm a necromancer. So, it shouldn't be too hard. She didn't die fully grown. She shouldn't be that hard to carry. Not difficult at all. What do you think?
The task itself seems easy enough in execution. The difficulty, I think, lies in the logistics. That's my problem, not yours. Who is this, and where do I find them?
You're uniquely equipped to know. Her name was Serapeth.
I would like to make just a general what do you call these bonobo rolls?
Yeah.
I want to see if I can. Actually, this might be more of a deception check. I want to see if I can keep my composure when I hear the name that, I'm not going to lie, I was hoping was not the name I was going to hear. So I
So
think,
the moment you started the scene, I was like, Robin, what are you doing?
that's a 13 on deception to see if I'm able to maintain
Okay.
masking any sort of I wouldn't say contempt, but definitely dropping my poker face if or when that name is said.
You cannot see any recognition of it in her face.
And forgive me for if my question seems to indict myself of any form of doubt, but you are certain you need her body?
Well, I'm certain that she is of the bloodline I require.
Did you know whose daughter she is? Was.
Ah, the parent that raised her, yes. It's not without serious deliberation that I ask this of you, you understand.
As I said, this is not your problem, it is my problem to figure out how to navigate this with, first and foremost, Treston, but also Gelthor. They may pose a challenge in completing this.
Yes, they might indeed, if they know.
Man. All right. So, in character, outwardly, I will say to her, giving that little half bow again, I will say, again, these are my problems, my Dark Saint. I will see it done.
I know you won't fail me.
And then I imagine just walking the halls, the dark halls back up. My mind is racing, figuring out, can I do this without... Is this something I can do without the others finding out? If I do this, and they do find out, what is going to happen? I know the answer to that. And I think there's a part of me that is almost, I would say my consciousness in this moment has Gelthor's voice following our recent conversations. And I think this is causing a crisis of faith, I guess, if you will.
Man, he's being shaken.
This is, I mean, if it had been anyone else, so I don't know if there's, I don't know if this is just narrative role play for me to figure out, or if there's a role associated, or maybe later on down the line. I told her I would see this done, and I'm doubting if this is something I can do. I know I can do it, but I'm doubting if this is a path that I can commit to.
Yeah. All right. Chew on that for a minute. Asa.
Oh, hi.
So it's the middle of the night and it has been storming. It has been savagely storming for hours. You're awake.
Mm.
It's probably about 3 a.m. This is probably not all that unusual for you, and it's definitely not all that unusual for Simon. He's sitting in the window of your little home with a teacup in his hand, looking out into the rain pounding against the window's pane, and he seems to be pretty deep in thought about something.
I'll finish my own tea and then wheel over to him and do you want another cup, love? I'll kind of look over and see that he hasn't taken a drink in a while and uh,
He passes it down to you and says, "Do you still have that little heater doodad? I've got plenty. I've just been holding it. It's gone cold long ago."
oh yeah. I'll like just kind of feel around my body for something and then just take the cup and kind of pass my hand over it and I'll just warm it up. I won't even bother with a doohickey this time around.
And he takes it back and smiles, wrapping both hands around it. And you kind of get the impression that he's more just warming himself with the cup than going to drink it right now.
Mm.
But sometimes that's enough, you know? And he moves so that his legs are kind of dangling over the windowsill and leans down a little bit. And he says, I just can't stop thinking that something is about to go terribly awry. It's the stupid little omens, you know? It's the bird in the house. It's the soup pot boiling over.
It's the feeling in my limbs that aren't here too. I get it.
What do you do when you know there's something and you don't know what it is? What do you do when you don't know what to prepare for?
Well, you know what I do. I usually go into my shop and prepare for everything. I tinker with something until I feel like I've got it figured out, and then usually I figured it wrong.
Does preparing for the wrong thing help?
I mean, you're prepared for something, but doesn't help me feel any better now. I'll like put my hand on his leg.
And he
Well,
nods.
whatever's coming, we can get through it together with the girls.
And he nods. There's still plenty left to fight for, and we will be just fine. And he places a hand over your hand. Galthor,
Yes.
it is storming. Tonight there is no direct message from Noreen. This night, sleep bars you from entrance like a guard. There's a firefly blinking on the post of your hammock, flashing a warning. Or maybe a request for help?
Um, so I would imagine if there's a storm blaring and sleep is not finding me, I would probably have given up on the attempt of sleep and gone out into the storm. Um, given that Nareen is a storm deity, I don't fear them, uh, even if it's to my own uh, own issues. Um, so I imagine if this thing alights near me, um, I would notice and just speak to it like it were any other person. Like oh, hello, little firefly. Do you need something? Little more chipper. The issues of my uh what do you call it? My addiction, while not ever gone, it's I'm not really feeling it the way I used to. The issues with Raziel have not completely gone away, but they've resolved as much as they're going to. So I feel that Gelthor is probably of the highest spirits he's been in decades.
Does Gelfler have a beard?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Man, I always like imagined him with one, so I need to process that for a second. All right, so
uh,
in that case, the little firefly will probably take shelter underneath like probably the area where like your hair and ear is, like just a little bit by the neck where where your hood would be if you had one pulled up, a little bit of shelter from the rain. But you can still kind of out of your periph see the flashing of the light. And because you are from House Aravel, you know how to read it and interpret it.
okay.
Sometimes that flashing is for guidance. Sometimes that flashing is for comfort. This time, that flashing is an SOS.
Um, all right. So I would heed it and be like, okay, where am I needed?
And it leads you through the storm. And this poor little firefly, like the raindrops are the same size as its body. It's like dodging massive projectiles in the air, leading you through, blinking every once in a while to make sure you're right behind it. But eventually, you make it to the cemetery and the spires of the cemetery. Eventually, you can see that there are lights on in your family's tomb. And shadows moving erratically.
So I mean, I would move without hesitation.
All right. So you get to the top, and the entire way up, you can hear some kind of like clattering, some kind of kerfuffle going on the top floor where the oldest of the bodies are. And once you get there, you recall the cousin that you briefly met, the pink-haired tiefling. She's in a physical confrontation with a guy in a dark robe. There seems to be blood soaking one of her sleeves. I am not going to make you like go through an entire fight sequence for this. You are going to be able to knock him out. You just tell me how you do it.
So I would imagine I would, call forth my spear to my hand. Charge forward, put my shield, but between the two of them, I'd give the attacker the chance to give up and be, kind of taken in for questions, but failing that, I'd smack him upside the head, this the old one too.
And you do. And once you do, there's sort of a cracking sound, and whatever was in that hood disintegrates to grave dust. Um, you've seen it before. The day that you found out Adelaide is what she is, there were people in the circle, they were doing a ritual. You saw her basically just absorb them for their life energy. It looked a lot like what just happened.
Oh, well then. So I'll turn on. Are you okay? What was going on here?
Amiatet looks at the fallen robe and back at you with brows slightly furrowed and says, one of the wards went off. Someone was in here trying to steal a body. I don't think they expected me to intervene in any way.
I'm glad that you were here to stop them. Was it a specific body?
It was that one. She gestures and then has to pull her arm in because it is still bleeding from the attack. The dagger that the assailant used is lying on the floor. And the tomb that they were trying to get open is partially cracked with the little puzzle that it takes to like sort of dial in and open the vault solved, but they didn't get the sarcophagus all the way out of the wall. You can just kind of see it cracked in there. Um,
so I'll I'll scoop up the dagger and see if there's anything interesting or telling about it. I'll tend to her wounds. Magically if it feels it's necessary. If not, um, just wrap bandages around it, and then I'll examine the tomb.
So the dagger is a cultist's Chris. You've seen them before. They're just what the cult of Saint Adelaide uses these days. And as for the tomb, nothing particularly special. It's not the oldest body there. It's not a younger one. It's a great granduncle of yours. Somehow it might have been the easiest lock to open. It would be your best guess.
Trained in history. Does my great granduncle have they done anything of note?
In good standing of House Aravel through and through.
Um, well, then the fact that his tomb was disturbed in any way, shape, or form, um, I will I will mutter a prayer, say his name, and you know, say, your descendants have come so that your rest may continue.
And you are able to push the vault back into place, and it clicks, and silence befalls like it should have. The storm rages on, the night continues, and eventually dawn breaks, though the rain does not. Uh, now that I have thrown the three of you into the deep end, how do you want to go about your next moves?
All right, I've got the torch, so I'll keep going. Um, Part of me, once she's good and doesn't really need anything from me, I guess I'll wander back to my hammock, um, and I'll take a moment in thought. Um, Not that long ago, I would have gone storming to Raziel, dagger clutched in my hand, uh, you know, thrusting, not aggressively like attacking, but basically shoving the sign, in his face about, look what she's doing now, disturbing, my own ancestors. How dare she? Um, but trying to keep the peace, trying to um put things aside. Um, I don't think that's the best course of action. So I temper myself, and I go looking for Tristan.
Tristan, where does he find you?
Well, before he even finds me, I've been crafting messages for my children and sending them out to say, um, a storm is coming. I can feel it in my limbs, and your father and I would feel better if you'd all come home for a bit.
All right, how do you
Um,
send these?
I will use. I imagine Tristan is a bit of a worrier in like the different way than Simon, and has over the years crafted each of his kids their own sending stone. Um, so I probably would just like send the message that way.
All right, I love that. Okay, so you know that the replies are going to be staggered. Your girls have like various degrees of awareness of when they have a message. One of them you get almost immediately, and it's your more sailing prone daughter. Like, Pops, I'm pretty sure the storm's already here. And like you can even hear in the background the lightning and the thunder and the tides.
I'll just sort of chuckle. But where Gelthor will find me is in my workshop. Because after mine and Simon's conversation, I decided this morning I was going to go tinker with things and try to find a solution to whatever the problem might be. I sent these messages, and I'm just sitting there holding uh, the the stone, kind of like already um, linked to uh, Serendipity's stone, and just like I've not sent a message, but I'm just sitting there staring at it, and I kind of like feel the energy of the signature that I had made specifically to be able to connect with her. So I imagine he would walk in right about then.
Hey, not sure what is going on. And I'll just kind of casually pull out the dagger and explain what what happened in my, ancestral keep, I guess you'd call it.
I'll like kind of pocket my or just I'll put my stone back in like the top drawer of my desk and go. I'll just take a look at that. And I'll kind of like study the dagger and say, I wonder if this has something to do with what Simon's been feeling lately.
What's going on with Simon?
You know, we've both been having trouble sleeping, getting older and all that, but there's something up. And he feels it, and I can feel it.
I myself
Something.
had some issues sleeping last night as well. I wonder if whatever's going on is, linked to your daughter.
I mean, so to understand this right, you told me all about somebody breaking into your family crypt and all that.
Yep.
If someone was sneaking into your family crypt trying to steal corpses, I don't know what it's got to do with serendipity, but
Well, I mean, she was a tiefling as well, and while many of the houses have fallen out of presence for quite some time, it seems that there's I can't believe I'm saying it, but more tiefling activity in the past year than 5 or 10 years beforehand. Houses that had supposedly completely disappeared, now all of a sudden some are showing up, and others that have been inactive are all of a sudden on the move. A tiefling girl for no reason, attached to nothing beyond a famous artificer, life snuffed for no reason. I don't think any of this is just coincidence.
as much as I've been wanting to just pretend like all this tiefling houses coming back up means nothing. If she was seeking answers about her past and her family, got to be connected somehow.
Now she was Jalen, right?
Above table, I don't remember. I think that's right.
That's what we're going with now.
Okay.
Did she ever connect with any of her other kin? Were there any others? I don't remember encountering other House of the Dung Beetle.
I meant to go find her friends and ask them more. I know I touched base with them a little bit, but I don't think so.
All right.
mean-
Robin, we've encountered I know we've encountered the cockroach.
Mhm.
I'm obviously of the firefly. Pretty sure we've encountered dragonfly. Do we know what other houses we've interacted with?
I have not been well, I might have been keeping a running list, but I don't have it anymore if I was.
Okay. All right.
But Like importantly, no, I don't believe it. I think that at one point you did run into somebody that was from House Jalen, but I believe he died.
Okay. Oh, and I know we've definitely done something with the spider.
I was
There
just
was a
thinking that too.
whole thing of Sadrin.
Right, they were
Um,
definitely watching you.
Mhm.
all right, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch the other 17 episodes and try to put together the pieces of the
Oh God,
houses.
please don't, because I'm working from memory. Um, no, if you do, I will too. But continue.
um, so I will prattle off the list, and even if it is incomplete or inaccurate, uh, it is what Gelthor, with not having slept last night, remembers. So I spit out, that list. Um, having been aware of the houses and paid attention to the different tieflings that we've interacted with, and he will just keep holding to that theory of there's got to be a reason. We've been ousted from power, quite some time ago. Um, so why would it be coming out now? Why would there be something on the move? Um, so I would ask Tristan if, like, you're far more connected to the people than I am. Um, all I've got is some old sailor buddies that I might be able to reach out to, um, and that's if they're even in port. Um, but maybe if you could see if you have heard anything, if anybody knows anything. Um,
Well, I mean, the best place to go for any information would be the tavern. They go and just ask questions and listen to people talk. I know you've been
I
avoiding
wish
them recently,
Klaus hadn't disappeared.
oh
I
yeah,
mean,
he would
he's
be. Well, I mean,
I don't
yeah,
know.
I rolled in there with missing a couple of limbs and talking like I do, and people ain't really wanting to talk with a grumpy old dwarf.
So, at the mention of tavern, Gelthor kind of like stirs up his courage, and like there's like a visible ritual as like he closes his eyes and kind of puts on the mental fortitude. Um, doesn't look down at you in any way. Doesn't have any kind of judgments of like, really, you're gonna force me there. Um, doesn't show on his face. Uh, but he screws up his courage, and it's like, all right, well, let's lead on then.
Uh, uh, kind of put a hand on Gelthor's arm before he starts leaving and say, you know, I'll admit I've been hitting the bottle a bit more than I used to since Dippy died. Um, but I know it's been hard for you. I know you're fighting your own battles and you got your own demons. And you've been able to hold off the drink for this long. I might as well join you on that. I don't want to be a reason to see you relapse for any reason.
If you need to talk, or if you know you want to forget without the drink, I can help guide. It's certainly not easy, but you're nowhere near where I was, so your battle will certainly not be as difficult. Though your pain is different. I would not say one is greater. Uh, I've never known the love of a child to know what that's like. But the and I'll just see, and I'll just cause. No, I'll do a quick thaumaturgy and cause lightning to crackle in my eyes, uh, the connection to Marine, to the divine, is not something that's easily explainable. And to have that connection and have it just utterly removed, it's like a portion of me was just ripped out with no explanation. Uh, I really just, that's too much. Come, let's talk of later things as we, begin to head out.
And
Alright.
as we do, I'm gonna like before we do, I'm gonna slide open my drawer and grab my sending stone, and as I'm leaving, it's still sort of activated to Serendipity's stone, and I'll kind of unintentionally trigger it and say, Dippy Lloyd, you gotta get yourself wrapped up in something like this. And I'm gonna send that message to wherever that stone might be, whoever's possession it might currently be in.
Okay. All right. Hey, Raziel. Speaking of which, did you decide what you're gonna do?
I did. So while all this was going on, I should say the dice decided for me. I was trying to think of the best way to do this, and I thought, well, what do you do when you're trying to work out a problem? You talk with yourself. And so what I did was I rolled persuasion against myself. The first roll was the version of me saying this isn't a good idea. The second roll was the version of me saying this is my dark saint, the one whom I've pledged myself to, who I waited all those years for. The first roll was a 16. The St. Adelaide pro argument was a natural 20.
Damn.
And so the dice have decided that Raziel is going to go to this tomb without talking to the others and try to take care of this without letting the others know.
Man, sometimes being a dungeon master is a lot like being a parent. Like I will sit there and I will watch my son make an unhealthy choice and pick cookies over crackers, and I know, and I'm sitting here and I'm like praying, like do the thing. And man, I gotta let you make your own decisions. Hell yeah. Let's go. Commit to it. All right. So here's a question, Tristan. Have you done anything in this tomb to like keep anyone from doing exactly what your friend is about to do?
Make me gotta look at my spell list, because absolutely there would be like defenses set up from grave robbers. I just real quick, this was over a year ago. I wanted to guarantee we didn't have a burial at sea, because something in my brain tickles about like something like that. And I don't know if that's the truth, but
Okay, no, you definitely didn't, because we had an entire session that was like you guys in the city cemetery that's like all overgrown
okay.
and jungly now, and she is buried in your husband's family's tomb, and they were
Right,
not
right.
nobles, they were commoners, but it goes like down, 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 down into the earth because they've been here for generations.
That's right. We went
And
into that tomb.
and then the tieflings have them in these spires that like you have to kind of fly up to get to.
Gosh, I'm gonna say probably, given that I'm digging through spell lists. I think that more likely what would happen is I would have, after the last time we had to go there, have put up a glyph of warding that would give me essentially like the alarm spell should the tomb ever be like entered without me knowing it.
All right.
Counterpoint.
So what would trigger that?
Given, I
Counterpoint.
have a question about that.
Mhm.
Just throwing this out there. given that we were all there and we were all pretty important in this girl's life,
Yeah.
would you have given us the passcode to bypass any wards?
Yes.
Would you still know if somebody had used them?
No. I think
Okay.
that all it would do is just like let me know if somebody entered without permission.
All right, and as far as the tomb is concerned, he has permission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right,
I
so
feel so dirty.
you are able to get in there. You are able to retrieve this body, and she still has that sending stone on her. So it just so happens that when Tristan sends that message through the sending stone, you will be there to receive it.
I
Can you
feel
repeat the
like
message?
holding this body that once was her and hearing Tristan's voice. I think the first instinct is to immediately start, like, are they here? By what coincidence have they arrived at this exact moment? And then hearing that, I think there's a part of me, that sane voice that was trying to convince me not to do this, that is basically saying you've got one last chance. But I think holding her body, I have already realized I've crossed that point of no return. And I'm going to push that voice down willingly. And I will, if the stone is like held on her body or in a pocket or something like that,
Around her neck.
I will take that stone and I will put it back in the tomb where her body was before leaving.
All right, you close it back?
And then I will close it up and begin the trek back.
All right, give me a perception check.
My perception +5. Dirty 20.
You can see out of the corner of your eye the wisp of something following you. The body in your arms has been treated with magic. She could be sleeping if she weren't so stiff. But what you see out of the corner of your eye does not look nearly so tranquil, has not been put back together. Still carries multiple stab wounds, and one of them is like just below the chin in a very visible place. She doesn't say anything. She just stares at you.
Is this her soul?
Uh-huh.
God damn it. I spent that whole time writing all these arguments to Tristan and Gelthor, and this very occurrence flies in the face of every one of my arguments.
Yeah, she just stands there staring at you. She doesn't do anything. She just kind of like hovers like a macabre balloon in your periph.
I think I would say, at least one of my arguments, I would say to the spirit, this is just your body. You don't own this body anymore. If the dead had claim to a body, they would take it with them. Your memory is still intact. The memory of you.
She says nothing. She just continues to stare at you and float there like a macabre balloon.
I'm going to do my best to ignore this as I begin the trek back.
And the entire way, she stays behind you at least a good 15 paces. She doesn't seem to be advancing or getting any closer, but she just follows, like a gloomy funeral procession, like a reverse funeral procession, because her body is returning to the surface. It's odd. But she doesn't try to stop you. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't scream or jump scare you. She just lingers. All right. And you take the body back, and you are, of course, greeted at the entrance to the catacombs. You are brought back in with honors, and eventually into a little chamber where there are 12 doors. And all but 4 of them have been unlocked. You can see the bar across each one has been removed, except for the one with the spider, the one with the scorpion, the one with the firefly, and the one with the beetle. And Adelaide walks to you. She holds her arms out, head held reasonably high, and motions for you to pass the body to her.
I do.
All right. And then she says, only a few hours now. We need to wait for the proper celestial positioning. And she carries the body over and lays it on a table in front of the door with the beetle. Tristan, how long do you think it would take you to realize what was going on? Like you guys are going somewhere. You were going to, what was it?
What is the name of the bar? It's not the Tipsy Flagon, is it?
It is the Tipsy Flagon
Okay,
because
okay.
it tosses and turns on the waves a bit. It's actually literally a boat.
Okay. That sounded familiar, but yeah, I think that's where we would be heading to, just to kind of listen to the rumor mill and see if there was anything we could glean about why there's an uptick in tiefling houses uh, around.
So the thing is, a lot of people are going to take news about tiefling activity to be like urban legend material, and the people at the Tipsy Flagon are typically going to be like orcs and dwarves and like the salt of the earth, you know, like there not a lot of people there are going to fool with the kind of thing that you're trying to find out about. However, even if you can't see the beast, sometimes you can make out the shape of the water around it. You do hear a lot of rumors about unseasonable insect swarms. Or arachnid swarms, as in the case of the spiders and scorpions. A lot of that. A lot of that. Particularly the spiders. People have so many complaints about spiders. All you have to do is mention them and they will tell you so much. Like they're so glad to get this off their chests, honestly. Like there's too many spiders.
Um, are any of the orcs that Serendipity traveled with, are any of them in the tavern?
Oh yeah, they're in here almost all the time.
That's
Her
one of the
little
other
friend
reasons
Astrid is
why.
at the bar right now.
All right, so I imagine we spent some time just in idle conversation, and when I see Astrid, I'll kind of make my way right over to them. Like we might even be like in mid conversation, and then I'll notice them, and I'll just like stop and just beeline over there, leaving
And
my drink.
And of course, you are immediately welcome among them. You were a legend between these kids before Serendipity died, and like now that she's passed, you're kind of sacred to them. So like they fall quiet as you come near. They like find their little stools to either sit on or like, you know, they make room.
Uh, I just kind of greet them warmly and just, hey kids, round for everyone. Why not? Um, and just kind of greet them
And then
all right.
Astrid says, "All right, that's allowed, but only if you let me get the next one, old man."
Right. Well, I'll like kind of skip and say that strictly speaking, I promised a friend I wouldn't be drinking tonight, so
Another
get
time.
around for your buddies.
All right, well, if you're not drinking tonight, what did you need?
Well, of course, come say hi to some friends, but you're smart enough to know that you got more on your mind than that.
We were actually trying to see if anything was going on that people might not think to talk about or what have you. What species are these
Orcs.
friends? Orcs? Are there any other tieflings besides myself in the tavern?
Oh no. They're like they're still all over the city. They are still the predominant species in the city, but like they might not be directly in power anymore, but every bit of the city's infrastructure was built specifically to serve them. So most of them are in the upper class neighborhoods. Like they just don't come here because it's kind of a crappy
Well,
bar.
um, I feel like something is going on with the houses of old, and I'm trying to figure it out. It might just be I'm an old man who is wishing for better days, but I think what happened to Serendipity is part of something larger. Have you seen or heard anything that without this knowledge might have just been like, it's one of those things and just moved on, but now it's making you think?
So of these orcs, one of them was not an adventuring partner of Serendipity's, but you do recognize him. You know Yorick because he's the orc that Raziel pays to watch his house when he's not around and that looks after Neveress. And Astrid glances at him and then at you and then back at him again, and she's kind of giving him this encouraging look, but you catch the moment where he like makes a face at her like he doesn't want to talk.
He was my friend, Horatio.
Oh, that's funny.
Alas.
Sorry, I can't hear the name Urich without going to Shakespeare.
That's very funny.
Come on now, spit it out. You got something to say? Say it.
And he kind of shifts a little bit. You know, he takes the drink that he was given when you bought them the round, and he goes ahead and downs nearly half of it at once just to give himself some courage to speak up. He sets it down far enough away from him that he's not tempted to pick it back up again, and he tries to say this as straightforwardly as he can. But again, you can tell he's nervous. You can tell he really doesn't want to. I've been. Look, I know it's not a good idea. I know the people that go poking around and all that shit get turned back around on, and you end up in a ditch or you end up disappearing and no one knows what happened. But if this happened to Dippy, and she was the nicest girl any of us knew. She was the kindest person any of us had ever met. If this happened to Dippy, it could happen to Never. So I poked. And then he kind of falls quiet again, and you know you're gonna have to prod him to get more. So how do you do it?
What's it gonna what's it gonna take for you to share what you know? Just be blunt. I got an 8 charisma. I'm not I'm not goofing around.
Just look. I got 2 conditions.
Sure. We didn't hear
And
anything from you was number one.
yeah, I mean, especially if Raziel asks, because I don't know if you know this, but he is scary. He's fucking terrifying. And I know, as a red-blooded orc, I'm not supposed to say that. But he
Not that
is.
bad.
Just
No.
don't make him disappointed in you.
Look. And the second is if he's doing something bad, just protect Never. I don't know if I'm gonna be there. I don't know if I can get there. Sometimes I'm halfway across the city when something happens. I'd go after her, and I don't think he'd hurt her, but
Hold on.
So
I,
you
I
think
think you
Raziel is
kind
doing
of
something?
no, look. He's always around those people with the cloaks, and I don't think anybody else has noticed because he's actually careful about it, but I'm always at his house. I see stuff. They hover around, they come poking around when they think he's not there to notice. They watch her.
and you think that Raziel would have something to do with serendipity being hunted down,
No,
tracked down,
but
whatever, never happened.
but I think those people that he's got something to do with do. In fact, I know they do.
Are you telling me that perhaps one of my best friends has been standing next to some information that really could have helped in investigating what happened to my daughter, and he's not said a thing at all in any way that's helpful?
That's
Or is
assuming that he knows.
I don't.
Look, here is what I know. I know that the spiders are always listening. I know that it's not an accident that they're where they are in the city. I know that they're everywhere, and just because you don't see one doesn't mean there isn't one listening. I know that Serendipity was poking into the same information I was. I know that I have definitely been poisoned for having poked into it at least once by the spiders, but I don't think it was the spiders that took her down. I think it was those cultists.
Do you think the cultists are who? I just can't finish the sentence, the thought.
killed me daughter? Well, if there's any chance of that, and they're hanging around Raziel's place, I'll look at Galithor and say, "Oh, I think maybe we know where to go next."
Just
I don't.
let
I
me get
don't
her
think
out
that.
first. And he's like got a hand on the bar that's gripping pretty tightly. His knuckles have turned white. He is giving you both the intense face.
Yeah, go ahead.
And he gets up and leaves immediately. Like he's not messing around with this. He's just gonna go get Never and leave.
Is there any chance that that firefly is lingering around?
Yep. If you didn't brush it off, it stayed with you.
I don't know what this relationship is. I don't know exactly whether I can ask it to do anything, but I'm gonna, look down and I'm gonna say, look, can you follow them and let me know if there's any trouble?
2 blinks for yes. It zips off. Mind you, it is still storming, and I am going to make a couple of rolls to make sure it actually makes it to its destination, but it will try. All right. Raziel, do you have anything in between now and this confrontation that you need to get done?
I don't think so. I think given what's happened and what I've done, there's no reason for me to leave Adelaide's side. even if it's waiting in an antechamber or whatever it is, I will be standing by, maybe sitting on a stone bench, head against the wall, eyes closed, not really asleep, unless she has need of me or until she has need of me, so that I can immediately be there. But I know that leaving here, and especially going home now, would not be a good thing.
All right. So you two would get to Raziel's place without Raziel in it. And it is Raziel's place, so I'm going to do that thing where I'm gonna let you like do the descriptions and like tell them what they find there. I don't know how much time you've been spending at home recently. I don't know what's gonna be out in the open. All I know is that Yurik got there, he grabbed Neveress, and he left.
I think that for all intents and purposes, Raziel's place looks the same as it ever did, except it's cleaner. And that's not Raziel's doing. That's Neverus. It probably even looks a little bit brighter. Maybe more windows opened up or more light being let in when there is light to be let in. I like to think that maybe she put a few more candles or lanterns around to brighten the place up on a stormy day. I think the only thing, and I guess I'll leave this to you, if Neveress would have found it before Yurik took her, is prior to leaving when summoned. Actually, maybe I think I would have written this a longer time ago, after committing myself to Adelaide. I would have written a letter, not even a letter really. In true Raziel fashion, it would be very short, but basically saying that should anything happen to me, then my home and everything belonging in it is left to Neveress.
Okay. That actually changes the way the scene goes just slightly. Your apartment is not empty when they arrive in it. She and Yurik are still there. She's arguing with him about leaving. You find them standing in between the sofa and the coffee table. And he's giving her this impassioned, like, no, we need to go. Things are about to get really bad. You are not prepared for this. I am not prepared for this. And I was trying to be prepared for this. We need to leave. And she's like, look, he would not have left this note at any point if he didn't think something bad was going to happen. And I think the bad thing is happening. And I can't just let that happen. Can I just let that I can't just let that happen. And that's what you come in on.
Well, I had a whole plan involving like one of us disguising as Raziel, but kind of think that's not gonna work now.
Oh, sorry.
I'm kind of like whispering that to Gelthor as we get there and see there's still people there.
I don't know how we're going to handle this. I I can't imagine that Raziel would have held out any details, but I also know, like, when she passed, he wasn't even aware that Adelaide was still around.
Mm-mm.
So I think if he's attached to what's going on, it's an after the fact situation, and there are details that he doesn't have.
Yeah, he's been a good friend, and even if he's been a bit, bunk lately, We knew about what happened to Dippy. He never said something. I have to trust that. But we're gonna be tracking down any of these cultists that hang about his place. We can't go interrogating them in front of the girl.
No, no, we can't.
All right.
So what do we do?
Like it's time for a stakeout. We gotta find somewhere to set up and keep a lookout for unsavory characters who keep hanging around Raziel's place.
All right. So I've spent time in a crow's nest. Um, is there any spot that has a nice vantage point to Raziel's front door?
So one of the big things about Armistice as a city is that it is built with a lot of verticality. If you want to find an up place to perch, they're all over, especially for a tiefling with access to wings. Like even people without them, there are ladders and things built into the walls that people have added over time, even if they are an afterthought. But yeah, you can very easily find like an outcropping of wood, like a pillar that just kind of extends a bit beyond the building to perch yourself on. And most non-winged creatures don't think to look up. Now, tieflings always will, but
Right.
this is the bad part of town.
And I can turn myself invisible and just sort of take a seat right in front of the house.
And yeah, it's not long before you do start seeing them crop up, and you wouldn't notice immediately if you weren't trained to look for that kind of thing and if you didn't know that it would be coming. But they start appearing around the time Neverest comes out and starts doing like the sweeping on the front porch and checking on like the things out front and the neighbors. And they watch her and they don't come very close. They stay far enough away that she isn't likely to notice them, but you can tell that she's what they're locked in on here. And you also notice that as long as she is specifically out there, there are a few more spiders crowding the area as well. They clear out a bit when she goes back in. The cultists take a little longer.
When she goes back in, I'll like make my way. I probably have to sneak for this because I'm still uh, in a wheelchair. uh, but I'll kind of like try to make my way behind one of the cultists as they're trying to leave.
Okay. Yeah, give me stealth.
Okay. I don't remember if do I get advantage with invisibility or do they get disadvantages in noticing me?
I believe you get advantage.
Okay. Well, that would be a nat 20.
Well, they
Nice.
rolled an 8, so
Which is funny because I have advantage for like something in my armor, and then I have disadvantage for being heavy armor, so that already canceled itself out. Uh, but yeah, I crit that as I just like
so you follow them into an alleyway, down a couple of them. They seem to be headed toward a catacomb entrance, but you do find a good place to ambush them.
all right. Yeah, Gilthor, what are you doing? Considering I not signaled to you what I'm doing, and I am invisible.
Um, I don't know. I mean, like you're invisible. I can't see you. I don't have see invisibility. So I
Uh,
was looking for uh I'm watching the door. Like would I have seen these two and had we come up with like we were looking to kind of catch them in the act, so we were gonna follow them together? What was the discussion before we split up?
That's a good question. Can we roll back time and have that plan?
Yeah, I don't see any reason why not. Like, you guys had under a minute to plan this in real time, but in game you had hours. Um, and it didn't take you that long to come up with it, Sealy, so I'm fine with this. Also, you do see the cultists even if you don't see Tristan.
Right. Um, so like what was the deal? Were we looking to follow them to see like, they left this place, we were gonna follow them back to wherever they're going, or are we looking to like knock them out and interrogate them?
I was thinking we should grab one of them and, you know, take them aside and interrogate them. Um, Probably find a place where you can do that without being witnessed.
All right. Well, then I imagine, even in the storm, uh, it can't be much harder to fly in the storm than it is to like, run in a downpour. Uh, so like I'll pursue, and I'll wait till there's somewhere that's like a little more off the beaten path, and be prepared to make a move. And I imagine like if I know that you're gonna stealth, then
Mm.
it's a scenario of
Oh,
you'll
I've
act
got your
second.
back.
All right. So here's the thing. It's not actually that difficult to nab one of them. Um,
Okay.
and you find out why pretty quickly, because after you have nabbed this hooded figure and taken the hood off, you realize that you are not dealing with a living person. It is definitely like a zombie in the classical sense. There's desiccated flesh. This thing is definitely moving through arcane puppetry. It's a thrall.
So like uh less than a zombie or more than a zombie?
Like
Or
about the equivalent to a zombie.
okay.
Like it's not shambling around, but you get the impression it's because it's being directly puppeteered from somewhere.
And like, explain to me how you nab it so I know the scene I'm coming into.
Well, I mean, I imagine Robin is giving us carte blanche to
Yes,
describe the scene.
absolutely.
So like I imagine I just kind of like dive bomb out of the air, like striking the one uh in surprise from behind, knocking it down and kind of like going after the other one. Uh and then we tag team it to you know capture it to kind of ask questions, and that's when we like completely realize that it's not going to be able to answer questions because it doesn't have the ability to think for itself.
Yeah, I have this picture like you kind of swoop in, you knock one to the ground, grab the other one, and I appear out of my invisibility with my gun to the one on the ground's head, and as you like pull off the hood of the one you've grabbed, and we see that it's a thrall. And I'm going, well, that's the second time tonight that my plans have had to change. I mean, it's not really working out the way I kind of had thought it would.
Not really thrilled with undead lurking and moving about the city. Um, I know I'm kind of new to, being sober and regular, but what is the what do you call it? What is like the predominant religion in the city? Like are gods regularly worshipped here, or like
Okay.
are they like on the outs? What's their situation?
So here's the situation regarding religion in this setting in general. There are two goddesses that are primarily worshipped. There is Nareen and there is her radiance, who has a name, but it generally isn't used. It's too holy for just casual conversation.
Sure,
As a
sure.
follower of Nareen, you are inclined to think that that's very silly. Um, like, and it's not like either of them is really an adversary figure. You're not like this setting's version of a devil worshiper or anything, but
Right, right.
people tend to be drawn to and prefer the truth and light and comfort of her radiance to the cold storms and trickery of Noreen. She brought this on herself a little bit.
Sure. Um, so I honestly, I feel we should try and find a temple to her radiance and like literally like bring the flipping bodies. Like shit, let them know, hey, this is what's going on. Um, help us out.
Oh, we could also, let these ones go and just follow them, see where they go. Like give us a little more of a heads on what we're dealing with.
As a
Do
note,
you
your observations are in line with Treston's right now. If you do let them go, you get the feeling they will just go home. Like they're not fighting you. They're
right?
acting on road instruction.
Well, I mean, if we think that's gonna work, then we can just follow them.
I mean, we can always take one when we're done and do what you say. Take it to the, you know,
All right, let's give this plan a go. Poke, prod, get a move on.
So they take you down into the catacombs. And these things are sprawling. They are throughout the entire city, and so it's hard to get to a specific place if you don't already know where you're going. I am going to ask, are you going to do anything so that you can find your way back? Because it's a bit of a labyrinth down here.
Um, I imagine. Like I'm not proficient in survival, but pretty wise. So I don't know if uh, what do you call it? I don't know if you have any chalk or anything, but worst case scenario, um, I can, periodically strike the walls with a dagger, um, and mark it so we can be able to find our way back.
And in fact, you have a nice cultist dagger that won't be ruining any of your friends, won't be ruining any of your gear if you use it for that.
Yes. Daggers are useful for a lot of things.
However, I would be astonished if Treston didn't have like tape or chalk.
definitely got chalk.
Um,
It's
Treston
often
has a
used in,
labyrinth survival kit on the
yeah,
underside of his wheelchair.
oh no, for
right.
sure. Like people that are crafty always have electric tape. They always do somewhere on their person. I don't know, I didn't make the rules.
Listen, it's not on my person, but
So,
it's within reach.
Right.
so her radiance is light, truth, and what else?
Okay, so like light, truth, and warmth. Now I say this because that's what it says like on all of the materials and in the dogma and what her priests will tell you. It's also like the searing light of day, it's fire, it's burning, it's like the ugly truth, like it's more than one thing, but
Sure. I want to put, I got my notes here so that if comes up again, I'll know it.
yeah, she's the sun.
And more
Son of
importantly
the star.
than just chalk, I also have a clever way of drawing out something because Asa has seen the labyrinth, and I remember the scene when they flip the little stones that she's like pressing the
Hmm.
arrow on. So I have developed my own symbol for telling direction, even if it gets rotated.
I love that. That's such good planning. Please take a point of inspiration
Oh,
for
thank
just labyrinth proofing your strategy.
you. Now I feel like I
There
have to
is
come up with
so
that.
much good D&D stuff in the Labyrinth movie. Like,
Oh yeah.
you know, even watching it today, it is still something that's like just a gold mine of goodness.
Yeah.
I've done probably like a couple different blog posts, and I've got another one planned, um, to kind of like, well, how would you take Jareth and like make him like an elder Fae? Like, what would that look like? Uh,
Kind of
'Cause he
reminds
just
me of the
Thoughts?
villain in Jonathan Strange and The hell's the rest of that title?
Dr. Norrell.
Dr. Norrell, thank you.
I haven't seen it. I just remember my grandma having a copy on her table.
I have not finished reading it or watching it, but I have started both.
Okay. So anyway, these undead are going to take you guys to Raziel. You are led down a crypt and in through a room, and he is sitting there on the bench with his eyes closed as previously described. And you guys can still faintly hear the storm from somewhere above.
So we have come across just Raziel sitting there.
Yeah, like
In
he
this
is
tomb?
in the antechamber. He is outside of the chamber that these bodies are going back to report to. And you don't even know how they're going to report because they seem pretty unaware of anything that's going on around them right now. But they continue walking. Do you?
I kind of like
Yes.
look to Gelthor.
Let's follow him. Let's see. Let's get to the middle of this.
All right, Raziel,
well,
you are aware of your friends walking into the chamber that you're in. Do you have a response to this?
For a moment, probably as they approached, hearing the shuffling of the undead, which I'm sure probably happens more frequently down here. So probably occasionally just cracking an eyelid to see if it's anything I need to pay attention to. And then when I see Gilthor and Treston, I close my eyes again and I just say, "You shouldn't be down here."
Raziel, I will also point out that when you open them, Serendipity is sitting beside you, just still staring at you, still not doing anything, just giving you the accusing eyes. Treston and Gelthor, you do not see her.
Do we see in like the tiefling bodies that were,
No,
were
it's
were
not in
brought
here.
down here? Okay.
It's not in this room.
All right.
right.
So
What I explain
why
what you're doing.
why
down
are
here.
these undead roaming our city?
I don't control them. I don't have any insight into what they're going to or coming from.
Why are these things trying to take the body of tieflings?
Hey, is this what you
And
saw earlier? Go for in the crypt. Is that what you're talking about?
I'll pull out the dagger. Uh, just a short while ago, I stopped one of these things or something similar wielding this dagger as it attempted to take one of my ancestors from his crypt.
I would guess that in the time it took you to follow one of these things down here, another one has probably taken its place and is completing the job if it failed. It's just a guess. I don't know. I don't control what these things
And
do.
you're completely okay with disturbing the dead?
The dead are dead. They're empty vessels.
Do you
What does it matter what they do with them?
And if one of them were to, break into my family crypt and steal Serafina, you would be sorry, not her name. Steal Serendipity, you'd be all right with that. You wouldn't care. You just let it happen.
I think for a moment I glance to the kind of over my shoulder next to me as if somebody were, or kind of in that direction. I just kind of glance. It's her memory that you're protecting, Treston. Her memory that you and Simon hold, that all of us hold so dear. Not her body. Her body is done.
Doesn't mean nobody's walking corpses coming in and taking it. Doesn't mean I want to use for some. I don't even know what is going on down here, but I mean, you're saying you'd be all right if someone just desecrated her tomb like that.
I would not be okay with one of these things going in and just taking her.
So you're saying you have no respect for the dead.
No,
You say
Why are
it's
you
just a
putting words
lifeless
in my
shell.
mouth, Gelthor? I told you the dead are the dead, and their memories we hold, and who they were. We don't.
But you have no problem with their bodies being removed.
No. No, I don't, especially if there is a chance for that empty vessel to have purpose once again.
What purpose could that vessel have? You have changed. This is not yourself.
I want to roll insight on something that Gelthor said, or not Gelthor. Sorry, Raziel said recently. Unless do you want me to have just picked up the implication in your words though?
I said what I said. I didn't. I think I know what you're talking about. There was no deception, so there wouldn't be. I mean, you wouldn't. I wouldn't be trying to deceive you. I'll roll off against you on insight. You're probably gonna get it. Sorry, I rolled terrible. Wait, I rolled insight. What would I roll?
You'd roll deception, I guess, or persuade. No, if you're not really trying to do anything, I don't know. I mean, I got a 9.
I get a 19 on persuasion.
And then are you? I think in that case,
Let me respond to Gelthor, and this might change what you're about to do.
okay.
Because Gelthor just said you've changed. I think this point, there's a sigh. I put my hands on my knees and I stand up. It's no secret that things are different, Gelthor. We spent quite a heated argument discussing the differences. Of course, things are different. Adelaide is back.
And I've tried to accept that these things were going to be just a fact of the matter, and that we were going to be able to put this aside. And I felt a profound joy that we were mending. The man that I adventured with, the man whose mind was strong, intentions pure, has just casually accepted that, oh yeah, I got no problems with, bodies being taken from the graves.
I'm still me. And I didn't say I didn't have a problem with the bodies being taken. I said that I don't have a problem with them being given new purpose. And you do still know me. I've never lied to you. And I'm not going to lie to you now. Serendipity is no longer in her tomb, Tristan. Did not allow one of these shambling undead.
Tristan turns into his robot form and takes a shot at you almost immediately.
Oh my god.
Doesn't even wait for you to finish the sentence. Rolled an 18.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is one of those moments that I'm going to be remembering for years. Please continue.
You rolled a 19?
18.
18? Still going to hit.
Yeah, just 25 in total. So that's 2d10, 4d10s. 19 damage.
Okay.
Shit.
Yeah,
Is this
fire
initiative?
damage. And I'll just go.
What kind of damage is it?
Fire.
I guess it doesn't actually matter. I'm not raging. I don't have any protections up, but I am going to hellish rebuke you.
All right.
Um,
Should I take back?
So, Robin, would this be initiative?
You just need to make
Let's go out on a limb and say yeah.
Hellish rebuke is a dex save.
All right. Well, that is a 5 because dex is this paraplegic strong suit.
Let's see. That'd be wow. I get 2d10 of fire damage, and I did 5 whole damage to you. I think that's probably. I like to think of that as Raziel not fully pushing everything into it. It's an instinct, and it's a new instinct to cast this spell. But yeah, let's roll an initiative here. Where'd my d20 go?
I'll follow that up with, what did you do with my daughter? I rolled a 1.
Oh, 1 for initiative, Tristan?
Yeah.
Okay, I just need Raziel now.
11.
I gotcha.
All right.
All right,
So-
Gelthor, you're first.
All right. I will ready my shield, get between the two of them, shield facing Tristan, looking at Raziel. We can't do this.
I didn't do anything. But respond to his attack.
You're the only one of us who would be able to get into the tomb without me noticing. Unless you want to, say that Klaus or Hessia did that. And I don't see either of them around here.
I told you I wouldn't lie to you, Tristan. I carried her body from her tomb. I carried her in my arms all the way from the tomb to here.
And where is she now?
Her body is being put into new service. And then I'm going to turn over my shoulder and say, will you do something about your father?
All right. So, Gelthor, being a cleric, you should be aware if there's an undead in the room. You really should be.
There's several
Great
of
one.
them.
So, is there an undead I can't see?
No. I mean, yes, but not in this room. It's like the St. Adelaide is in the room over. There's no ghost in this room.
Really are losing it, aren't you, Geltor? Not Geltor, sorry. Wrong person. Raziel.
So, I mean, should I be trying to brandish my holy symbol and rebuke the undead here?
Looks like what we've got here is a good old armistice standoff.
I'm trying not to have my friends kill each other. I have to think that Raziel is savable.
There is a little rumble, then a pulse of magic from the chamber beyond, where the zombies walked in.
Do we
Some kind
see
of
anything,
ritual
or
is
we just hear the
started.
rumble?
You hear the rumble and you feel the pulse of magic.
What's going on, Raziel?
Tristan, you know. And I don't think I have to tell you either.
Yeah, when my turn comes around, I'm making just a beeline for that room.
All right. Well, Raziel, you're the one that's up right now if Gelthor's turn is over.
Yeah, I'll I am trying to give each of the other cover from uh from the other, um and I guess I would put myself between ready in action to intercept if one decides to make a move. Is that cool?
Are you asking me or them?
You, the DM.
Yes, that's cool.
You're
All right.
so where are you positioning yourself?
I'm positioning myself between you two, between Raziel and Tristan.
Okay.
Shield is facing Tristan, but I'm looking at you. So if like you go to charge, uh I want to get between the two of you. And if he goes to shoot, I want to try and block it. So I'm trying to give both of you cover from each other.
I can see looking at these two, making a snap battlefield assessment. I see Gelthor, ever the intercessor, just trying to keep his friends from killing each other. And I see Tristan and know what motivates Tristan, and I get a sense that he wants to get in that room, which is going to trigger my need to protect my Dark Saint. And I think the only response you see from me is my normally almost glowing white eyes clouding over like the storm clouds of the storm up above. And I am going to invoke Saint Adelaide's name. And I'm going to cast I'm going to call it the Arms of Adelaide. But the Arms of Hadar is the spell. Which is going to cause tendrils of dark energy to erupt from me, battering all creatures within 10 feet, which means Gelthor and Tristan are going to get hit. You need to make strength saving throws.
Oh, that one makes up for the nat 20 I rolled earlier.
Whoa. 16?
16 will pass, so you'll only take half of 9. Tristan, you'll take 9. That's necrotic damage. Tristan, you cannot take reactions until the end of your next turn. And then I'm going to turn and run into the chamber.
Okay.
My intention is to run into the chamber and do whatever I have to protect St. Adelaide.
It is not that far. You managed to clear the door fairly
Oh.
easily.
I would also like to bonus action. And I think for the first time, this is not Raziel getting so frustrated that he goes into a rage. This is not the disappointed dad. This is a rage, but it's the mad that is filling him right now is probably a little bit of madness. But I will bonus action
Passion
rage. What was that?
Passion rage.
Yes. Zealous rage. And that is my turn.
So Adelaide is next in the turn order, and she is already doing her little ritual over there. She's standing in front of the beetle altar. She has the body laid out over it, her arms raised in exaltation. And when you enter the room and that rage overtakes you, and she can like kind of feel that impassioned fury radiating off of you, you can sort of catch her basking a little bit. Like this thing that you did not come without its rewards, and that approval is palpable. However, she is very focused on this ritual and is not going to be acting in this combat straight away. Treston, you are up.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start by casting haste on myself, because that's my rage, and then I will charge after Raziel. Didn't say Gelthor this time. Really wanted to. Yeah, and kind of like charge into that room and stop and take in the scene for a moment. And so I mean, I don't realize what's going on, but I do realize like there is my daughter on this. I think you said there was like an altar or something.
Yes.
And so that I'm just gonna level my gun at Adelaide and just scream and pull the trigger. A bolt of lightning is gonna jolt from it.
Hell yeah.
And I've got to actually look up what my because I rarely use my infiltrator's launcher. Okay, it's +7.
Yeah, I do not tend to be a very combat heavy TM, so that makes sense.
I always forget like half of my features too, because I'm like, there's just so many with an artificer. Okay, so it is 19 to hit.
Hell yeah, you
And
do.
it does d6 +3 plus another d6. 10 damage.
Got it.
But that is my turn because I can't really do anything with my bonus actions.
All right, she passes her concentration check and continues the ritual. Gelthor, you are up.
All right. Well, I will follow them into the room, and like she's like doing a ritual over top of a body.
Yes, a serendipity's body, in fact.
All right, even more more reason to do it. This is probably gonna cause some serious issue between me and Raziel, but I will bring my spear attack at Adelaide. It's cracked. Um, that's going to be a 24 to hit.
Okay. How much damage?
How much could I add on top of that? D8. All right, so that is going to be 8 piercing, 3 thunder, and she is pushed back 10 feet.
Okay. And you have also broken her concentration. She looks away from what she was doing, and her eyes pin you for a moment. Is that your turn?
That's it.
All right, Raziel.
Both of them have attacked Adelaide.
Yep.
What I want to do, I know Gilthor is probably going to have advantage against. So I still haven't drawn a weapon. I am going to approach Treston. And I'm going to attempt to strike him physically, unarmed attack. But I'm going to attempt to use my once per day Serpent Strike, which I believe I got from something that happened to us. I think there was a dagger involved, but regardless, that's going to be a dirty 20 to hit, Tristan.
That'll hit.
You need to make a Constitution saving throw.
And they have advantage on dexterities with haste, so that's a 16.
Okay, so that's 5 plus 4 is 9. Poison damage halved.
Okay.
And 8 necrotic damage halved.
Okay, so 9 poison halved, and then I'm resistant to poison.
So that
6
is
damage?
dang it. See, I did that thing I keep doing where I forget that you're the dwarf.
Yeah.
Whatever. I made my choice. I'm clouded by rage. So that would actually there's gonna be there's also 4 plus, just like you were saying about all your features and stuff. That was just from the Serpent Strike. In addition to that, there's the fact that I punched you, which is 4 bludgeoning plus where is it? Plus 2 for raging, so 6. Which also then let's see through his feral instinct. Where'd it go? All right, there's something for being a okay, well, I can't find it, so I'm just gonna say it was the 6 bludgeoning, which would have hit you. That wouldn't be halved.
Right.
Okay, so that was 1 attack. I'm gonna go ahead and, since I'm right up in your face, I am going to go ahead and I'm gonna throw another punch.
All right.
It's a 17 to hit.
That meets.
So that would be 8 plus 3 plus the 2. So that's 13 points of bludgeoning.
Almost a half.
And so that was action.
And I can't take reactions till the end of this turn.
To the end of
The start of your next turn.
Oh, okay. So I would have been able to take reactions as of now. That's fine.
No, it's end of turn.
Okay.
For the, what was it I did to you?
Hador's
Arms of Hadar.
Yeah.
You can't take reactions until the end of your next turn.
Okay. My apologies.
So I'm just looking to see if I want to do this to you.
I don't have any reaction spells.
As a bonus action, no, I'm done. I'll save that. I'm not going full. I'm not going full force on you yet.
All right. So Adelaide, who has been disrupted from her spell casting, turns to Gelthor, and she says, Is the whole of her dead body and the promise to leave it alone forevermore worth a drop of your living blood?
He's asking if the promise of never touching the body again is worth a drop of my blood.
Yeah.
And what do you want to do with my blood?
She gestures to the firefly door that is still locked and the altar beside it. Fair trade.
I can't have you keep desecrating these bodies.
I only need one more door. It doesn't matter which one.
And what is through the doors?
They're going to unlock a threshold. They're going to allow me to leave.
Speak plainly, for once.
I whip my head around from Treston to Adelaide when she says that she's leaving.
She smiles at that and holds out a hand, gesturing you to her. Calm yourself, you're coming with me.
And where are you going?
Out there. There's layers to the cosmos. It's like an onion. And there are some places that it's harder to get out of than others. We are planarly situated in an interesting position that has been made more so by the old magics of your ancestors and those of the other families here. It took me years and so much preparation just to open the door to one plane. We should be able to touch more of them than that.
Was this your goal when you set out to make a change in this place?
Part of it.
Did you arrange for her death?
There's a flicker of a smile there. Like there's a mask drop, just a bit of one where like you can tell that like yeah, she's a little bit proud of that one actually. But then she kind of scrubs it off her face, you know? Um she was going to try to stop me anyway. The men I hired to do it were kinder about it than I would have been.
So I look to Raziel when she freely admits this. Do you react at all, Raziel?
Hold on. Jake the player's reacting to this. So what I'm doing is I'm rolling a wisdom saving throw against myself. But I weirdly have a feature that while I'm raging, and I think it was something that unlocked when we leveled up last time, that if I fail a saving throw while I'm raging, I can re-roll it.
Awesome.
I just rolled a 4.
Okay.
The new total is 9.
Oh my god.
So
I don't know what failure means. Failure means you
what
rejoin
this
the good
means
side or you stay
what
on the
this
bad
means
side.
in this case is that I'm in my current state. I am not able to see past my devotion to Adelaide.
Sure.
And instead, what I'm going to say to you, Gelthor, is If you won't give her the blood willingly, I will take it. And I'm going to manifest my longsword in my hand.
All right.
So I don't know whether I've gone past what we're allowing for conversation in this.
Yeah,
but
no,
if
I was about ready to say Treston's up, but I'll give you one more quip before we move.
So if I give you this blood willingly, you go away and we never see you again.
If you give me this blood willingly, I leave Seraph alone from now on.
It's gonna be my turn now because I haven't responded.
Yeah, it's your turn now. It's your turn now.
Oh fuck no! I'm gonna push away from Raziel and just charge
Go,
toward
Papa.
Adelaide.
Let's go.
And I'm gonna charge up to her and I'm gonna like wrap one neck around her throat and drop my gun, and lightning is gonna curl around my fist and I'm gonna pull back and slam it into her face.
I will give you advantage on that attack just because you've got parent rage and I know what that feels like.
I also know what that feels like.
I know you do.
And I think I've got I believe I have 3 attacks. Yes, 2 base attacks and then an additional attack action. Ooh, 4 attacks. There's an additional attack action for hasted, and I can only use it to make attacks.
Forgot you were hasted.
That is a nat 19, so 26.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna roll all my attack rolls.
All right, cool. Roll all your attack rolls. I will let you know which ones hit, and then just give me all the damage in one lump sum.
I think a 13 is probably gonna miss.
No, a 13 does not hit.
24.
Does hit.
And 24.
Cool.
So that was 3 that landed, plus I get an additional d6 to one of them. Go. 14. 23 damage. And if it matters, 11 of it is, or no, sorry, 14 of it is lightning damage.
Okay. So you come in and you're punching with lightning. Okay, so I'm just imagining like you get in there and you've got your like super powered punches that you're throwing and you like lay into her really hard and she's about ready to like take a breath and say something else and you like it has this smug look on her face and then the next thing you know it's just like a cough and there's blood on her pale lips, like coagulated brownish, like it is not a living person's blood. The body goes down without a particular amount of fanfare, but I will remind you this is a lich. She's not going to stay there.
Oh, so but like right now she is
yeah, like the body that she was inhabiting in this room has gone down like a sack of bricks and left the 3 of you alone with Serapheth's corpse and all of these altars.
Kind of like.
But you all know she's not gone.
Right.
Desiccated corpse, like blood is dripping from my fist as I turn to both of you and say, "That bitch killed my daughter. She does not get to leave. Do you understand, Raziel? If you stand against me, you won't either."
Raziel is staring at where her body has fallen. I sent
Have we fallen out? I'm going to ask this question to Jake. Are we still in initiative order?
You're asking me?
Well,
that depends.
You're the only. You would be the only other aggressor.
So that depends on the answer to the question I just sent to the DM.
Oh.
Okay.
I have a message. Yes. Yeah.
Then I would still, I think, largely because of this rage state, I think that seeing her go down, I think what Treston and Gelthor see is Raziel drop to his knees. Arms. Actually, I'm not intending to do this, but for all intents and purposes, it looks like Willem Dafoe when he comes running out of the woods in Platoon. Was that Dafoe? That was Dafoe, wasn't it? dropping to his knees with his arms outstretched, just waiting.
All right. And so the darkness comes creeping in. It moves from that dropped body. It skitters along the floor like the folds of a cloak to wrap around Raziel and start pouring in at every orifice that it can find. Gelfor, you know an undead when you see one, you know an undead when you feel one. There was no ghost in the room before this one, but there sure is now, and she is eagerly possessing your willing friend and about to use him as a meat puppet. And that is where I'm going to call you guys for the night.
Gosh darn.
All right,
I gotta-
that is an awesome cliffhanger. Be prepared for a saving throw, Raziel, next time.
I gotta say,
so
I have very much, as a D&D player and friends of you guys, enjoyed this, but also as your friends, I have feelings about what's happening.
I completely understand it if you need to talk this out.
No. It's like, it's fine. It's fine.
Well, I just love the fact that for years, Jake and we've gamed together of either I as the GM or you as the GM, and always at odds. So the first time we truly get to play together, we're still at odds.
It's great.
And
I love it. I'm not super into PvP, but I'm loving this story, and
It's where
I
the
trust
story's
Robin,
going.
and I trust Jake to do this well. And tension is one of those great things that comes about through great storytelling.
You guys weren't here yet. Before the game, it was just Robin and I. Robin said, "I'm going to be mean." And I said, "Do tell." And I went, "Well, actually, don't tell, but I'm intrigued." I didn't realize what mean actually meant. But I'm here for it.
What Robin's mean looks like.
No, this has been some amazing storytelling, and the Robin, you know what you were doing every step of the way.
I did. I'm not really sorry.
You gave us the proper illusion of choice.
We do the old guard once a month, so come on back end of February. In the meantime, this coming week, Dave is we're on break, but Dave is going to be running a new campaign set in Ether Skies, using our D66 system that we've been tailoring with Zoo Mafia. So that'll start in 10 days, as we explore a new story set in Ether Skies. It's gonna be a blast. Can't wait to see where this one goes. It's kind of got some Hellboy vibes to it from what we discussed in session 0. So as always, check the description below where you can find a link to where these awesome people are. You can always check out the ever-growing list of articles over on nerdarchy.com. And until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.